Police have been gathering evidence here at Torrey Pines High School for several hours. Now, we look into the parking lot. Crime scene investigators are still photographing the scene, and they have just picked up what appears to be the weapon that the teenager allegedly pointed at officers. There's still a memorial here for the victims of the Coronado tragedy and for Chunky Sanchez. Well, it's been a tumultuous year in the history of Chicano Park. A lot of the victims' loved ones are looking for some closure and to move forward. People are getting special access to the training facility today, but with the change of ownership, all San Diegans will have more access to these facilities year-round. The attack happened just north of the San Onofre power plant. Surfers call that area Churches. That spot is empty today, but just north of there are still plenty of surfers enjoying the waves today, just not as many as you would typically see on a sunny Sunday like this. Yeah, really tragic, Steve. We're right here in front of the main gate to Torrey Pines High School, just to give you an idea of what the scene looks like right now. Still several patrol cars here, a lot of evidence still to process. There are families trying to get into the high school, events happening, but this scene is going to be closed off for quite a while. I'm going to step away so that we can take a closer look at the investigation and tell you a little bit about what we know so far. At about 3:30 this morning, officers were called out here for a welfare check. According to the officers, they encountered a 15-year-old boy here in the parking lot, and according to them, that teenager, he pulled out a gun. That's when the officers responded and fired at the boy. That teenager was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. And as Steve mentioned earlier, police have been able to tell us that the boy does live in this neighborhood. It's uncertain if he went here to Torrey Pines High School. Right now, officers say that they have notified his family, but they have not released the identity of that boy who was shot. We're going to continue to monitor this situation and bring you updates here on NBC7 and NBC7.com. With music blaring and classic cars lining the streets, Chicano Park can easily overload the senses.
I am loving the cars. I am loving the ballet folklorico, and of course the art, the murals.
It's totally awesome. It's a good place to be. The food's wonderful.
This year, Chicano Park was designated a National Historic Landmark. While there's much to celebrate, it's also a time to reflect. Local musician and activist Ramon "Chunky" Sanchez died in October. The park is also the site of a horrific crash. A sailor drove off the bridge. His truck landed in the park, killing 4 people. There's still a memorial here for the victims of the Coronado tragedy and for Chunky Sanchez. Well, it's been a tumultuous year in the history of Chicano Park. A lot of the victims' loved ones are looking for some closure and to move forward.
It was a very unfair how they had to pass away. Like, if you're part of the Navy, you shouldn't be driving while you're drunk. That's just, you're supposed to be setting an example, not setting a bad example for other people. It's just, no.
11-year-old Delilah Jimenez lost her mom, Francine.
She was such a loving person, and she was open to everybody. She was just amazing.
Loved ones traveled from as far as Arizona to pay their respects one last time. While none of the victims were from San Diego, the community of Barrio Logan has learned to mourn with them as if they were family.
All these people are so kind and open-hearted, and I'm thankful for them that they think it's necessary to come and pay their respects.
In Chicano Park, Ramon Galindo, NBC7.
Terrorists go after everybody, and my dad was threatened.
Those threats of violence forced 14-year-old Osama Abdulaziz and his family to leave their home in Baghdad. He's happy while playing soccer in El Cajon, but his family in Iraq is never far from his mind.
I remember that I was saying I was saying bye to all my cousins, my uncles. That was a really sad moment, because imagine leaving everybody you love and everybody you know behind.
Osama plays soccer every week with other refugee children. The games are organized by a local nonprofit, Yala. Many of the kids are from Iraq. Some come from other war-torn nations like Syria and Somalia. Many of these children still communicate with their families who live in war zones. And although they know their families are still in danger, it's programs like this that help them get away from the stresses of day-to-day life.
But our main focus is then to move them quickly from survival mode into thriving mode.
Sarah Cooper says Yala combines soccer and specialized tutoring.
Because this is 777.
It helps the children learn English and other skills to succeed in American schools.
These kids are going on to four-year schools. They're going to come out as professionals. They're going to pay a lot of taxes.
Programs at Yala help you not just in soccer, but in school, in life, basically.
Like the rest of these children of war, Osama is hoping to live a long and successful life in his new home. In El Cajon, Ramon Galindo, NBC 7.